March is done, and Miles has been in the trenches. From business wins and personal breakthroughs to challenges and lessons, this episode is the full download. It's time for another monthly rhythm check-in, mind, body, business, and beyond.
To the rhythm of my intuition, anything I want, I speak into existence. That's how I'm living.
Okay, welcome to episode 19, Finding Rhythm. Views are going up. They are. They really are. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate all the support. So let's rip it.
Miles, if you had to sum up March in one sentence, what would it be?
Filled with intensity. I think just filled with intensity, which has then led to exhaustion.
What was different about this month compared to January or February?
Yeah, I just think I really turned the knob up to 11 this month, which I'm pretty sure if I looked back at the February preview of the month, I said I'm going to get intense this month, which I did. And I think that I really pushed it to the red line. You know, we're at the end of the month right now, and I'm really feeling it. So I definitely need to take a small break, just, even if it's just 3 or 4 days of just okay, calm the body down, calm the mind down. You just did a big push, but also, it's the first quarter of the year and the first 90 days. So you always want to come out of the gates hot of the year, which I think we did exactly that, but I'm definitely feeling it mentally, emotionally, and physically for sure. So,
Where was your head at this month? Was it more clear or more chaotic?
it started off more clear, but it's so funny, the rhythm of it, when you increase intensity to a certain level, other shit starts to kind of fall apart, right? So if I think back on the month, going into March, super clear, coming off the momentum of January and February especially, really wanted to crank it up a notch. I think I had everything really balanced from mind and body and work and relationships, but the work part took the driving force of it. And towards the end of the month, stuff started to fall apart. I really, I could feel like I was on the edge of getting sick. I actually still feel that, a little stuffed up, kind of went sore throat, stuffed up, a little headache. And so gym went down, stopped doing that. Breath work went down too. Then kind of more anxiousness started to build up because those things started to fall apart. But it was just a red line sprint to the end. But, we made it here and we're about to go into the weekend now. So we'll finish up today and hopefully, as I say that, I actually got a pretty big mountain of work to get done this weekend. But I just know what it is. It's boring work. So, but get that done and then kind of take next week to just get into the new rhythm of the month, because the truth is starting the middle of next month is the most intense period of the whole year.
What habits helped your mindset or hurt it?
Yeah. It's hard because I'm just living in what I'm experiencing right now, right? It's not the whole month of it, and it's kind of has a split feeling to it where the month everything was dialed in and then I was going intensely. But like I said, if you're driving a car really quick and then the wheels start coming off and the doors start coming off, that's kind of how it felt like coming to the end. So the habits went with it. The key one was I stopped doing the breath work, meditation in the morning. That's always the first one to go. Then my body wasn't feeling the best, so I didn't want to push it too much. So then I stopped going to the gym. I probably went twice in the last 2 weeks. So then that went. So then that has its effects. And then, overall mood and irritability kind of falls with that too. So it's all connected. So
Any moments where your mindset was tested?
yeah, towards the end of it. Towards the end of it. Probably this week. But it's good now because I can recognize that it's happening, where before I would just like burn out completely and then it would take a while to start building it back up, where now I have much more awareness of what is happening to me and what to do to not just fall apart completely, to maybe have a slow dip here and then be able to, settle yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and then get back on the path and continue the rhythm. So,
how did you take care of your body in March?
I didn't.
So what's the one thing you want to dial in for April?
Yeah, so just get like a nice reset the first week of April. And then I really need to get a reset in and we'll probably do a deeper episode on it leading up to it, because there's a third business that I don't think that we've talked about yet, which is the seasonal pool business, which will begin in April. And that just adds a whole different layer to everything in my life. But we'll do a dedicated episode onto that. Did I answer that question?
Yes, you did. So were there any wins with fitness, sleep, recovery, or even your diet?
Yeah, we'll start with the diet one. That comes top of mind because February was so terrible. Definitely was much, much better in March of eating cleaner. When stuff starts to get crazy, though, that's where you see yourself slipping. Going to the drive-through seems much more attractive just when kind of the chaos starts to build out. But overall, a month of as a whole, way, way better. I don't know what score I gave myself before, but I'd give myself an 8 because you can't use 7. Fitness, we started off good. And then I had playoffs final weekend for hockey at the third week of March, and I could feel my body starting to break down, and I really didn't want to be sick for that. So that's when I started to taper off, probably that third week of March, but still played 3 games of hockey, and then I went to the gym one more time after that. So overall, it was good, but it wasn't as consistent or intense as the months prior to it. But like I said, I was recognizing how the body was feeling, and I didn't want to put myself out of commission. I got too many things going on to be able to get really sick and spend a week like hurting. So whenever I feel that it's coming on, I really try to taper back. On the relationship side, a rare one, call this in the friend bucket. So we had the final playoff weekend for the men's hockey league that I play in, which is filled with a great group of guys, and you play Friday night and then you hang out all day Saturday and have like a big dinner and stuff on Saturday. So that was a true, fill the friendship bucket up weekend, which was very nice. And I haven't had like that escapism in a long time where I don't really have to think about anything else. Shout out to my wife for allowing me to go and do that for those, for that Saturday day, especially. Just be able to truly unplug to, everything that's going on in your own world, and just spend time with friends and drink way too many Coors Lights but have a lot of laughs. And so I'd put that at a high score. And then on the business side of it, well, everything was crushed because we went with the intensity and we kind of went all into that area of focus. So we had another huge month across the board, across both businesses. Lots happening. There's lots of active work that's happening and momentum that's continually building, but also a lot of like seeds being planted. We had a lot of meetings and pilot programs start to get created this month that I know in 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now, those are going to grow out and be big parts of the business. So just keeping that going, really, really excited about that. We'll see when or how much of that area that we share on this. I'm so tempted to, but we'll wait till they kind of grow into bigger pieces of the business. That's on the Neighbor Media side, and on the Big Ball side of it, kind of making a lot of adjustments internally of the business and how it's going to be operated, which is it's sometimes difficult to do because you have day-to-day stuff happening, going on, and then you have to see kind of big picture of what you want the business to look like, who do you want to be involved, how do you want it to function, who's doing what, and managing cash flow and inventory and contracts with other individuals. Lots of call it like heavy mental work to figure out, but feels like we're in a good place now and have a clear path for that. So we'll be excited to see how that rolls out into Q2 of this year as well. It's more golf season now, and we are a golf company, so excited for that. And we got some other things in the works, but no need to talk about it in the March recap coming up in Q2 across the board, and some new things. So, and as well, we'll call this show The Finding Rhythm as one of the pieces of work. Feel like momentum is building. There's still really, really small numbers, but consistency and just trying to improve on the episodes. I feel like that we're doing that. Figuring out the lighting here. We started to adjust the thumbnails and the titles, little things like that to increase view count, hours watched, subscribers, little things like that. This is kind of a fun, creative project that we're on right now. So happy about that.
Was there any major setbacks or things that didn't go to plan on the business side?
Not really. I think those mostly popped up in February, and then it was just in solution mode in March. So no real new ones. Rather than, the regular stuff that you want to pan out but doesn't. That's just part of the game. So no real big ones that I didn't already identify or was solving coming from February into March, except for maybe one on the Big Ball side, retail partner. I think we have a little bit of a miscommunication of what we wanted the deal to be, but I'm confident that we'll figure it out and be able to continue that. So.
And what's one relationship area you want to be more intentional with in April?
I would say with my wife, Elisa, try to do that. Maybe sneak in a date night. It's also her birthday in April too. So have a focused moment on that. And that's going to lead us. But then, honestly, then the pool season starts, and I can't describe the level of intensity it gets. So pretty much all those things kind of go out the window. So we're going to say, let's get a date night and a nice celebration for Elisa's birthday on the board. I'll be happy with that. And so that.
If you could give yourself one message heading into next month, what would it be?
Rest up, because you are going to need it.
How was your March? Drop one win, lesson, or challenge in the comments, and let's keep growing together.